Hey everyone, welcome to the last of 2025's live episodes for Jay and Bax's Expensive Paper. We're so happy to be broadcasting and having you along for the ride for the last year. Today we've got a special guest with us. His name is Spro from 𝗧𝗵𝗲 𝗥𝚗, and he is a seller on Instagram and whatnot. So make sure to stay tuned and learn all about his story. Spro,
Yo,
welcome.
yo. So I'm trying to open up your chat on my phone. Jay and Bax's expensive paper, right?
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
There we go.
Make sure to
So-
subscribe if you're not.
Give us a like.
There we go. All right. Boom. Boom. Okay, I see myself. All right, there we go.
Sweet.
Sweet.
And then we'll also we'll broadcast any comments that come along.
Oh,
So,
sweet.
yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll
Let's
put them
see.
on the screen if any come up that are noteworthy.
Well,
But,
yeah, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for joining us. And it's a bit early in the left coast, so thanks for that.
Left Coast,
a
Best
little,
Coast, baby.
hey, I love it over there, man. If I could, I would move there in a heartbeat. Like,
Yeah. It's
I
we're
usually,
spoiled over here, man.
especially after days like yesterday where we had a snowstorm. And how
Mhm.
many inches did you get, Bax?
I got 5, but I live on a corner lot. So that means I usually get around 12 at the end of my driveway. So it does
Wow.
take a little while to chew my way out of that. How many? Yeah, how many did you get, Jay?
We got about 6.
Okay.
But that's why I wanted to ask, because you're living in that little corner, with the drifts and everything.
Yeah.
You always get more than that. And I was trying to showcase how winters can be brutal over here in the Twin Cities. So if I could, man, I would be there in the left coast with you. I have friends that live in Orange County, and I just love it
Oh, yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
What's the temperature where you guys are at right now?
Probably like -10. I don't know. I haven't checked.
Gracious.
Yeah.
It's let's see. We had a high of 81 and it's currently 70 right now today.
Nice.
Not here.
No.
Not here.
It's a
I can
90-degree
check.
difference. That's kind of insane.
Yeah, it is insane.
It is.
I don't think I've experienced like colder than 25.
Okay. It does hurt to like exist at a certain point.
Yeah.
Like you walk outside and you breathe in the air, and it does
Yeah.
hurt you. Like the ice crystals are forming in your lungs.
It's 13 degrees right now, so yeah, it's
Okay.
about
Phew.
What's the wind chill?
Crazy.
Wind chill though, Jay.
the wind chill. I did not see.
I
That's
saw
the thing.
the Browns game is supposed to be like 20 -20 with the wind chill and everything.
hmm
Yeah.
Feels like 8,
Okay.
so
Well, that's not too bad.
not too bad. But Chris, who's in upstate New York, knows all about the snow being up there. And of course, Jason, the archivist of drift, knows a thing or two about drifts.
Yes. That's great.
But yeah, so as Midwesterners, we'd love to talk about the weather. It's in our nature, and we'll, as much as we hate it, we'll sometimes defend it and say it's just the wind. It wouldn't be so bad if it weren't for the wind. It'd be
Yeah, I've heard
tolerable,
that.
even if it's like -5 or whatever.
It's a dry
Yeah.
cold.
It's just miserable. But yeah, enough about the weather. Spro, talk to us about your journey. How'd you get into comics collecting and now selling?
Yeah. So when I was a kid, I'm the first like in my like lineage of males in my family to not be a biker. So my dad, my grandpa, all my dad's uncles, like they're all like Harley bikers, and I just did not catch that bug for whatever reason. Um, but my dad liked being into cars and bikes. He used to get these like auto part magazines and stuff. We'd go down to like the local magazine shop where I grew up, and I would just go pick up the comics. And so I think like the earliest thing I can remember is like buying Flash and The Mask, like that Jim Carrey movie.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, those were like some comics that I had picked up when I was a kid, and just been super into it. Obviously, like I was born in '96, so the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies were like primed for me. I don't know how old you guys are, if it's the same for you guys, but yeah, like just the whole Spider-Man bedding and just whole room just geeked out in Spider-Man stuff. And then you get to a point in life where you're just too cool for it and you set it aside. And so, yeah, laid it aside. And then I think when the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies came back out, which was like towards the end of my like high school, like when I was like a junior, senior, I love The Amazing Spider-Man 2. People hate that movie. I think it's the second best Spider-Man movie that's been made. Like it's so good. And so yeah, in high school or like right after I graduated, buddy and I just found a shop in town, and then we went and picked up some comics. And it's kind of cool. The comic that we actually picked up that week um ended up being like it's worth like a decent amount now. It's like a $30 book. It was Spider-Man and Deadpool. It's like a series from like 2015, I think.
Yeah.
Um, Around the same time that Vision miniseries was coming out, where like he's got the whole family.
Oh yeah.
And I know that run goes for like a decent amount too, comparatively to like cover price.
Mhm.
So I wish I would have picked that up too, because that'd have been 2 for 2 coming back in. But um, yeah, and then I had another realization that like girls just are not super into geeks and dudes who read comics. So you just lay it down again, and you let it go. And then um started dating my now wife, and her dad was into comics. Um and we kind of had just like bonded over it a little bit, just like, oh yeah, talk about the movies and all that kind of stuff. But that was it. And then a couple years into us being married, um we watched the Daredevil show together. I might have started it and like binged the first season and was like, "Yo, you got to watch this." And so after we had binged the show, I went to the LCS where I lived at that point, and I just looked for every single Frank Miller Daredevil book that I could find. And I would say at that point, that's when I really started to like collect again. Um, and so that was fun because I like at the time I didn't really know like really who Frank Miller was, kind of the significance of that run in particular. I was just like, this is what inspired the show. Like, this is what I'm gonna go and buy. So went, bought it, had to kind of like um filled the run here and there. And then in 2022, I want to say, went to LA Comic Con. That was like the first big convention I went to, and stayed in the area for the weekend and just had a blast. It was I don't even remember what I bought. I probably bought a whole bunch of nothing. I was trigger happy at the time. Like I was kind of buying anything and everything. There really wasn't anything I wouldn't buy. And so uh yeah, then after that I got back home from that weekend, and went to my father-in-law's house, and I was just like, hey, like pull out your comic collection, like let's see like what what you got, because I was curious. And he's been collecting since like late '70s, early '80s, I think early '80s. And I mean, he had some pieces, man. Like it's just some really good stuff, because he's an FF collector. So he had some really sharp books. He had uh Werewolf by Night 32, just some like really crazy pieces. Um, and so pretty much from that point forward, like him and I both just it was like full addiction from that point on. And it hasn't stopped. It hasn't slowed down. Yeah, it's been a ton of fun. So it's like
Yeah,
it's been a roller coaster ride, a lot of ups and downs, tapping in, tapping out, but yeah.
yeah, for
You feel
sure.
like you're fully in now?
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Okay.
have to be at this
Yeah.
point.
If you're selling, you know, and that's your full-time gig and you're not into it, then you're probably
Yeah.
not in the right gig.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and if you guys don't follow Spro, follow him on Instagram, Killer Sales, follow him and whatnot, also Killer Sales. But he also has a YouTube channel with his father-in-law, Mr. Longbox, where they talk about the journey and collecting and even going to the movies and giving us some reviews. It's a great podcast. Give him a follow. Do that. And it's really interesting to see them talk, you know, the difference in age, of course, kind of like Bax and I, because I'm definitely older. Um, some of that generational thing that you saw, and, you know, him reading some of the books that I read that you guys only saw years and years, decades even afterwards.
Yeah.
Really, really interesting. So
Yeah. Yeah,
give
no,
him,
my wife loves it, man. She has like probably like half a short box herself. She's
Oh,
like
nice.
she's definitely like a nerd and a geek in her own way.
Okay.
Um,
You converted her.
yeah, she she loves that like him and I like share the hobby and
Yeah.
our that him and I are like good friends. I think she really appreciates that because I know that's not really something that a lot of marriages can have is like good in-law relationships.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily the rule. So I think
Yeah.
you're in the exception there.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So as a collector and a seller, how do you make that determination of what you want to sell and what you want to keep?
Man, at this point, like I there's I kind of don't want to keep anything at this point. There's like a few pieces that like I want to keep, but I see so much that not that it gets like watered down, but I kind of find a lot of there's a lot of fun in just like the cycle of it all and things coming through, things going away, things coming through again. Um, for instance, Batman 251 I sold last night on my claim sale, and it's a book that I've wanted for a long time, and that's the third copy that cycled through since I started selling a little over a year ago. And one of these days I'll slip one into my collection, but it's got to be like the right copy. So it's fun because I get to be a little bit picky.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't know. I just find a lot of fun in just kind of the cycle of it.
nice. Yeah, you're at the point now where it's like, yeah, I've seen this 3 times. It'll come
Yeah.
again, and it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, if there is
Yeah,
a book that I do have, like I do enjoy like upgrading. So like if I don't know, if something is like a fine, very fine in my collection and then a VF or a near mint comes in, it's quick swap, put that
yeah,
one in my PC. But I
yeah.
do have I probably have like 20 short boxes, a long box, and then like 8 short boxes of slabs. So I have a that's
Okay,
all my personal
yeah.
collection. So
Okay, wow.
it's a good amount. Um, but I'm hoping in the next year or two, what I want to do is I want to sell off my entire collection and kind of do what Mr. Longbox did, my father-in-law, and get an AF-15
Yeah,
because that's not a book that like
yeah.
comes through every
Right.
day.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
yeah. And again, for those not following, Mr. Longbox, with Spro's help, he accomplished one of his girls, which is an FF1. Went live on IG with Spro and sold a lot of his PC, and was able to snag that FF1, which was a great story. It was awesome to watch. Again, go watch that if you haven't already, because it's a really, really cool story. And seeing them bond over it and geek out over it when he opened it, and it's just great to see that relationship. Does your wife ever get annoyed at you two if you ever start geeking out too much about books? Like
Mm-mm.
around
No.
Thanksgiving or anything like that? Like, oh, you guys just stop. Enough is
No.
enough.
No, my mother-in-law and my wife, I think they're just happy that we're friends. I think they're just kinda I I think it maybe a couple years ago before we started the podcast, it might have been like, all right, like this isn't the time and place. But ever since we started the podcast, that's like once a week we get together and we talk for an hour and a half to 2 hours about comics and we kind of get it out of our system. But even if we do get together for like a dinner or something, like something will always come up. I think they've both just graciously accepted that that's a fact of our relationship, and it's just going to keep happening.
Nice.
That's awesome. So
How
how
do
did the
you
podcast? Sorry, go ahead, Bex.
go ahead, Jay?
How did the podcast come about? Like, you just talking and said, "Hey, we should do a podcast," and we both like comics, and let's do it.
I think it was one because we would just talk so much about it, and we would go to like every convention that's in the area. We live in SoCal, so there's like something every week, every other week. Like there's always something going on. And so there was a time where we were going to everything, and sometimes it's like an hour long drive, 2 hour drive, and so it was just kind of impressive how much we could talk and not run out of like conversation. And so I think one day I was just like, hey, we should just put a camera in front of us when we talk. Like, why not try to like bring, you know, benefit to other people and then potentially um make ad revenue on our conversations on the side. And so he was like, yeah, for sure. And so I mean a couple weeks after that, I just set up the my office at my house to be a podcast studio essentially. And yeah, I think this coming week, next Monday, will be episode 65. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's dedication.
Yeah, it is. So I was gonna ask, how do you get your inventory?
Yeah. Sometimes it's like people that buy from me on IG. Sometimes they're just like, "Hey, I got some stuff, trade, sell. A lot of times that'll just be like a couple key pieces, not like big um like collections. Um so I don't know if I talked about how I became a seller. Um, so basically, like I was just collecting, and there came a point in my collecting where I was like, I think I can like turn a profit on this. Like I think like I have like a weird. I don't know. I like can remember things super well when it comes to comics, and so it's like if it's like I see a cover and I'm like, this is a key and this is what it's worth, it'll like never leave my mind. So I'll just be like flipping through bins and just like finding like comics that are worth something, just in 50 cent dollar bins or whatever. And so when I realized like I just kind of had a knack for it on that end, I was like, well, like let me see like how much I can like push this and like if I can actually like turn this into something. And so um did basically was just doing like eBay sales, and that's just kind of how I started before I like decided to go into it full time. And I was like, man, it's a lot to open a comic shop, and I still technically don't have a comic shop, but it's a lot of money to open up a comic shop. I was like, I don't think I really want to do that. Like it seems like a money sink,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
really. And there's already like there's two proper shops in the town that I live in, and another one like 20 minutes south, and then uh sister store to one of the other ones, like also like pretty nearby. And so I was like, that's I'm not trying to like completely dive in. So I was just like, hey, maybe I'll just do like eBay stuff, like find stuff at conventions, and then maybe I can pay off like what I bought at the convention just by buying and selling a couple of
Mm-hmm.
books or whatever. So I ended up like doing like pretty well. And then I talked to I made a trade for Fantastic Four issue number 5 last summer with a seller on IG, Jaws Comics. Excuse me. He's got like I mean, he's always got like crazy books. So he lives about an hour and a half from me. So I drove down, made a trade with him, and then he he doesn't have a shop either. He just has like an office space. So I started asking him, I was like, oh, so you just run fully out of this office space? And he's like, yeah. So I got to talking and he was like, yeah, man, like these office spaces, like post COVID, are like pretty cheap to get into. Because everybody left after COVID, and
Mhm.
these office buildings, that have 50 to 100 mini offices in there, like he's like they're virtually empty. And he's like, so I got this one pretty cheap, and I was like, huh. It's like, all right, well, I'll just like go and see like what's in my area. And lo and behold, empty. And I got in at an beyond reasonable price. And what's pretty neat is, and I mean, this is just like God's provision, and like I always just think of it as like God's affirmation for just the move that I had made in my life. But the day that I signed the lease to my office space, I also got an insane collection, like 4 hours after I'd signed the lease, that had an Avengers 1, ASM 129. It was probably like 4 to 5,000 books, only 12 cent and 15 centers. And it was just like this, it
Oh,
was a dude who was a run collector and had everything. Um, and so I think there was a Batman 227 in there, just like grails. And so I got kind of like connected with that collection. And it, yeah, that was just like amazing. And so that's kind of like how I started off. Still have some books from that collection, but like all the ASM, I mean, that stuff flew off the shelves. Um, and then a few months later, I was on Facebook Marketplace, because that's another way that I'll buy collections. Is
okay.
I mean, 90% of the time it's nothing out there, and it's just people wanting like more than FMV for their collection, which I can understand because the comics mean something to you. But I
Mhm.
saw this dude; he had a post, and I made a video on it. It's on my channel. If you scroll like way down, um, he had this collection for 15,000, and I was like, man, that's a lot. And so I'm like scrolling through the pictures, and it's just like key after key after key, like Secret Wars 8. Was there one ASM 129 in there? I think there was. Iron Man 1, um, Batman Harley Quinn, or sorry, Batman Adventures 12, first Harley Quinn, and just like a bunch of stuff. First Iron Fist, first Luke Cage, and I'm like, wow, this is another like big lot of keys. So I was like, let me just go check it out. So I went down there, and it ended up being like, I mean, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 25 plus long boxes of books. And it was another guy who was also run filling. And but essentially, it was like a connector. It's like the first collection that I bought was like all 12 and 15 centers, and this was like the tail end of 12 centers into the 90s. So it's just like, I mean, what I was able to accomplish in like a year, I mean, I still don't believe it at times. Like it was just totally
Yeah.
like God's provision onto um just this whole venture. And so we negotiated, came to a price, and it has been such like a crazy fruitful collection that I feel like I still haven't made a dent into it. Um, but it ended up being really, really high grade stuff. The like Bronze Age stuff. Like, I mean, the first Harley Quinn came back in 9.8. The Secret Wars 8 came back in 9.8. Just like all these keys came back really high grade. And so it's been so much fun just digging through that collection. And when I bring those books out on sale, like I tell people like this is from like a dude who cared about his books. And they were well preserved. So like a lot of the FFs that Jabs picks up from me, like they were from that collection. And so like the Bronze Age stuff, like it's just top notch. And I'm always impressed how well that dude took care of his books, because I mean, he was buying them off the rack from the 70s till the mid 90s. I think is like mid to late 90s is when he had stopped. And so I mean, to buy a Batman Adventures 12 off the rack, and for me to send it in and get a 9.8 in 2025 is crazy.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's pretty
so
cool.
yeah, Facebook Marketplace, and then just kind of build connections with people. Some people just I'm on Google and stuff, and so people call me. Occasionally, I have people just knock on my door um, and come in. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not like a proper LCS. I'm just kind of like here. But I like that my overhead is low because it allows me to be competitive with what I can offer people. Um, and so I think that word is like starting to spread um, a little bit. So I'm really thankful for that.
No,
Nice.
that's awesome. And then, before we get too deep into the behind the scenes, which I'd like to peel um, a little bit, how did you make the transition? Because you used to have a full time job, and then you decided
Yeah.
let's just do this thing full time. How was that like, and what made you decide to make that drastic change in careers?
Yeah. So I worked in IT for a long time. Help desk stuff, just nothing crazy. And then I worked in a coffee shop because I couldn't stand to sit at a desk from 8 to 5 every day. So I managed a coffee shop for about a year. And my wife is actually like a pretty popular content creator in the gaming space. And so there just came an opportunity for us when we were living in LA proper to there was pretty much like a small window of time where we had to make a very quick decision on whether or not we wanted to stay in LA for who knows how long, or if we wanted to move outside. So we live about an hour outside of LA now, and we pretty much were just like, let's get out of here. I love LA, huge Laker fan, but post COVID, the city just got crazy. And so the area that we were living in, just we kind of saw it turn not for the best. So that definitely like impacted the decision. So we got up and left, but what that meant is like I had to quit. And so um, I quit, and I was also doing content at the time, um, streaming on Twitch, gaming, all that kind of stuff. But then there just came a point where I just didn't want to do it anymore. And I think there's a certain type of grit that you have and to be in that space. And I see it in my wife, and she has it, and she's very good at what she does. And I'm like, I don't even think I could keep up with you, like let alone the thousands of other people that are also trying to make this profession. And she's already like wildly successful. So I'm like, man, that came at like pretty much the same time where the collecting was kind of starting to rise. So that's kind of like where it all clashed. Um, and then I really hesitated for a long time. Like I was really scared because I knew it was going to be an investment, like investing money into things, and I just hated the idea of it being a loss and losing money that we had been saving up for years. But I just I eventually just got to a point where I was like, man, like I just can't be living in fear of what ifs. Like if I just keep thinking like, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? Like I'm just like it's kind of a sad life to just not do anything and just be thinking like I can't do that because what if this bad thing happens? And so essentially like came to a point where I was like, all right, like I need to kill that part of my thinking and that part of like like how I'm processing things in life. And so I was like, you know what? I would much rather get into this, just full send it, go. And if I lose, I lose. But at least I'm gonna go down knowing that I tried. And so those first two collections that I bought, like I was willing to pay more than even what I would pay today because I was like, I need to get my foot in the door. I need to have high quality, nice books. Like I need to start off and make a name for myself. So, um, those first two collections were not cheap by any means. And so that was scary, but it's been a year. That all happened like I think the end of October 2024, So it's been a year now. And I mean, top 3, top 5 greatest decision I've ever made, was just sending it and just going in. And what keeps me going, like, now is it's almost the same line of thinking, because I'd say, like, end of summer and the beginning of fall was, like, rough. People just, like, weren't really buying books. I don't know if people were, like, saving up for Christmas or if it's just, like, a downtime in the year, but, it's definitely helpful for, like, planning for next year. But, uh, I just kept thinking to myself, like, gotta I gotta stay locked in. Like, it's times like these where people go down and they don't get back up. So I have to lock in, I have to work hard, and I have to keep striving to be successful. Um, because if if even an ounce of me lets that fear come back and take over, then I'm gonna lose, and everybody else is gonna win. And I just can't let that happen. I just gotta keep going. I gotta stay focused and locked in. And I kind of like it. It's kind of sick, and in some ways is like, I just like the, I like the pressure. I like the pressure of, like, I'm responsible for everything that's in front of me, as
Hmm.
opposed to, like, when I
Yeah.
worked at my job, it was like, okay, like, I come to work, I clock in 40 hours a week, and
Hmm.
I'm good, and I get my paycheck, and it's comfortable. And don't get me wrong, there's definitely been some times in the last year where I'm like, I kind of wish I was in the 9 to 5. Um, but the peaks and the highs of being successful and creating your own success, I love that feeling. And when when things are slower or things are down, like, I just think of those moments and I'm like, all right, like, got to get back to chasing it. Um, there's a lot of, like, selfish ambition in it for sure, but I think that's kind of just part of being, like, an entrepreneur, and just
Hmm.
kind of what you got to have to be successful is, like, you have to view yourself as the best.
Yep.
Um, because everybody else next to you who's running the race is also seeing themselves as the best. And
Hmm.
so if you see yourself as s- playing second fiddle to them, like, they're gonna beat you 100% of the time. They're gonna beat you. So yeah, staying locked in, it's fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That's that's uh
I
that's great, and I think we all can all, identify to a degree with that, because I think at some point all of us have had that thought about how do we get over that fear.
Mhm.
Us creating content, we had that initial fear of how do we get in front of the camera and talk for 2 hours. I know at some points in life, Bax and I have talked about starting a business or something. Hasn't fully materialized, but it might in the future. But I think what you touch on is very important, that fear of the unknown of I put in my 40 hours, I have my paycheck, I go home, my bills are taken care of. Whereas when you are on your own, there's that fear, and that fear of taking that first step. Was there a tipping point for you that made you get over that fear? Or was it just that mentality switch like,
I think it was. Uh, I think it was. This sounds dramatic, but I genuinely do think it was, like, a matter of, like, life and death, not in, like, a physical way,
Mhm.
but in a, like, success type of way.
Mhm.
In, like a personal type of, like, I'm either gonna find enjoyment in what I do or I'm not.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think once I viewed it as that, then it became like all like it became very, like, serious in my mind that this isn't like a game. And just, like, entrepreneurship, no matter, like, what it is. But it's just not, like, much of a game to just sit back and, like, hope something comes across your lap. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I say, like, I like that first collection that I got. I saw it as like God's affirmation in the work that I was doing, because how long had I been tossing the idea in my head, and then the day that I signed the lease, a collection, like, comes through, my front door and in my text messages. And I think that was just like an approval of like having faith in risk.
Mhm.
And so yeah, that's just I mean, once I got that, man, like I really felt um like unbeatable. Like
Yeah.
just because of just my faith and everything, like just my life and my life morals and what I live by, just really just seeing God's provision as affirmation, just really like I think that is really the moment where I was like I was still a little bit scared, but when I saw that provision, that's when I was like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Like
Mhm.
it really couldn't be any clearer that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah. I yeah, that seems very serendipitous, which is awesome whenever those things
Yes.
happen.
Providence.
Yeah. Um, one of my favorite Dave Ramsey quotes is if your soul leaves the job, then by all means take your body along with it.
Mm,
And so I've carried that along with me, and it's something that I'm, as Jay mentioned, we've explored other business ventures and things like that, but it's also something that I'm actively working towards in my own personal life to transition out of corporate America for myself.
yeah.
So you have all my respects and admiration, and it's awesome to see.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's different for everybody. Like I got some friends who love the corporate life and they're really, really good at it.
Hmm.
And I'm impressed because I'm like, I could even if I'd stayed in the corporate world, I don't think I could have ever been as good as you at what you do. And they're just really good at it. And I'm like, hey man, like we all have our gifts
Yep.
and what we're supposed to do, but I think sometimes it's placed on our heart that, you know, you can just you can feel it in your gut. And the timing is different for everybody. Sometimes you gotta be long suffering through a job you don't want to be in for a while, but when the time is right, I think it's cliche, and you're when you hear things like this, you're like, that's just not helpful at all. But when the time is right, like you'll know,
Yeah.
and it'll be so abundantly clear.
Hmm.
There's
Yeah.
there's gonna be no doubt in the like. There's gonna be like, did I make the right decision? Like I don't really know. Like no, you'll have full confidence in whatever you're doing, and you're just gonna be like, all right, I'm just gonna chase this.
Yeah.
And it's it's harder. I think it's it's harder because you never know what tomorrow or the next week or the next month like has in store.
Mhm.
Um, whereas with when you have a paycheck that comes in every other week, like you do know, and there's definitely like a lot of comfort in that. But it's a different type of difficulty when you're working that desk job and you don't want to.
Mhm.
Like you said, like it's in your you can feel it in your soul that you're just being like cooped up and this is just
Mhm.
not where you're supposed to be.
Yep.
And so for some people it's just a matter of like, well, which one do you not want to deal with more?
Yeah.
Like the burden on your soul or the burden of like this month I'm going to be making significantly less
Mhm.
and things are going to be really tight.
Yep.
Um and so yeah, it's but I find that stuff fun. Like my wife kind of when we talk about it, like when we have like slower months and we talk about it, and I'm like, this is kind of fun. And she's like, you're crazy. Like we have bills to pay. Like this can't be fun. And I'm like, but it is in like its own weird way. Like,
Yeah.
and I would have never said that about corporate life when I was at my lowest working in IT.
Yeah.
Like I would have never been like, oh, this is fun. Like I can let me lock in and make this experience better for me. Like I just could have never have had that mentality ever.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
I agree. Do you have a
Jason has a
question here?
question for you
Yep.
in the chat.
Oh
Have
yeah,
you
let's
ever
see.
tried to sell Ghost Rider books to your biker relatives?
No. No, I have had a first I've had two first Ghost Riders. Those were really cool. But no. My dad's come with me to a convention once. There was one like literally a block from where they live, and so I was just like, "Hey, I'll pick you up. I'll drop my wife off to hang out with my mom, and then pick you up, and then we'll go." And I think he bought like 5 books. He really likes Hulk and Wolverine. And so he bought some like random, dollar books. I think it was like $5 books from a dollar bin, and that was fun. It's just like, yeah, that's what he just likes Hulk from the movies. And so yeah, it was a lot of fun just watching him buy something. I don't even know if he's ever actually. He did tell me that he read one of them once. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know how that went. I probably should have asked more questions, but because I know with comics, you can pretty much pick up any comic from any run at any point, and if they're a good writer, they should set you up well where you don't really need to know the context. You can kind of just
Mhm.
jump right in. So I should have asked him how it went, but yeah, no, the biker relatives. It's also just like a life of um, just living free and just wherever the wind takes them. And so my grandpa, he lives with my parents now. He lives in a I mean, man, he's crazy. He's got like this custom made RV that's like now stationed, like it's stationary now. Um, and he lives like on the side of their house. But he's like always traveling, like going out to Arizona and these just random places. I'm like, man, you're almost 80. Like, how are you riding a bike out to Arizona? Like you're crazy, but he's fit, man. He keeps his body healthy. Um, but their mindset, I think, is just like not having a lot of possessions, just so that they could just ride their bike
Yeah.
to and fro wherever they want.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I respect that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
What is your favorite platform to sell on?
Oh man, it's so different. I just started Whatnot. I've only done 2 sales there.
Okay.
Um, IG's a lot of fun. Um, I had the most experience because I've started doing that like the week after Christmas of 2024. So coming up on a year. Um, I like Whatnot because I can sell books that just otherwise take up space that I would never be able to move on Instagram. I
Yeah.
mean, I could probably offer these books on Instagram for like 25 cents and they would just never move.
Yeah.
So I like the people on Whatnot. They seem like excited.
Yeah.
I think that's what I like about Whatnot. It's just people that are excited to get stuff. And I can tell it's a lot more diverse of a customer base. Um, so I think that's a lot of fun. Instagram definitely is a lot more people know what they want and they know what they're collecting and they know the price points, like they're very savvy collectors.
Okay.
And so it's a lot of like back and forth and them always trying to get the best deal, me wanting to give the best deal that I can. But it's definitely some nice negotiations of on IG. But sometimes, man, on Whatnot, I haven't seen it on my show. Actually, no, that's a lie. So I had a I had a Joker book, and I brought it out to a claim sale twice. It was a Detective Comics Joker cover, Bronze Age newsstand. I think I had it on IG for like $10. It was like VF condition. Brought it out a couple times, nobody buy it. I was like, all right. Brought it to Whatnot, put it up for a bid, $2 start. Nobody bought it. I was like, dang, no love for Joker Bronze Age newsstand. I'm like, all right. Get to the end of the show and I sold out of everything. So I was like, all right, like I've got like 5 things here that didn't sell out. So I'm gonna do a dollar start sudden death. The book ended up going for $21. And I'm like, what in the world? This book didn't sell 3 times in a row. And then there was just 2 people who really wanted it. So they were going back and forth. So that's always just kind of like fun to see. But I've seen books on Whatnot, and I've also fallen victim to it where it's like a $5, $10 book, and it goes for like 50,
Yeah.
60, and
Okay.
you're just like,
Mhm.
but the thing that I like about that is like, okay, you overpaid, fine, but in the moment when you're bidding,
Yeah.
fair market value goes out of the window, and it
Yeah.
just comes down to how badly do you want this book.
Yeah.
And I think that there's something really fun about that.
It
Um,
triggers your competitiveness, like,
totally.
yeah, and then you get that dopamine hit when you win it. It's
Yeah, there's I don't think I have
And
it in
then
here.
Then
There's
it
a book.
expires when you get your bank statement.
Yeah.
With a bunch of purchases that you didn't need.
There was a book. I think it's called No Prize Book. Um, and it's a Stan Lee wearing the Doctor Doom suit, but he's like taking the mask off and he's upside down. And I'm a Doom collector, so I saw this book and I was like, I've never seen this book before. Like, I've been in the hobby like full time for 4 years now, and I've not once ever seen this book. So I puts it up on auction, $1 start. I ended up winning for like 35. Then I was like, I should actually see what this book is worth. And I go on eBay, same condition, and like buy it now 4.99. And I was like, yeah, I just fell into the FOMO. But I just decided to look at it as like, man, this is what I wanted. Like I wanted this book, and this is what I was willing to pay. And
Yeah.
so in my heart of hearts, like I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
Nice.
what not capitalizes on FOMO, definitely.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
So we're actually gonna run our first show on Saturday. Do you
Oh,
have
cool.
any? Yeah. Do you have any ad- advice for us? Words of wisdom?
Just stay calm, stay positive. Um, and I think keep your expectations really low.
Okay.
If you even, I mean, I don't know, like, are you guys doing like $2 start, $3 start, $1 start?
I was just gonna go like a few dollars under like fair market value.
Yeah. Um, I think just be like content with losing
Okay.
on the first sale, and then just like be content with losing money, but be stoked that you did it.
Okay.
So there
Okay.
might be quiet times where you don't like
Yeah,
where you lose money on some books.
Yeah.
But you just got to think of it as like, okay, I'm here. People are getting books at a steal, and they're gonna come back. And so, when the viewership is up, like your stream gets bumped up in the line, and so it'll eventually kind of it'll roll. It'll take time, but yeah, if you yeah, exactly, yeah. Seeing sellers rage on one as wild. Yeah,
I'm
like
not
if
planning on raging
no,
out.
then
yeah,
I'm
when
gonna
I
be pretty chill with
he
it.
starts raging, I'm gonna cut the stream because we ain't putting up with that.
yeah,
What are you doing
But
to our
no,
brand?
yeah, no. I mean, if you can just yeah, even I've sold some books on Whatnot where I've like I had to bite my tongue, and I'm like, ooh, that went low, and I did
Yeah.
not expect that book to go low.
yeah,
But then, on the other end, I saw that Joker book for $11 more than I had it on IG, where I couldn't even sell it 3 times in a row. So it's like, I think you'll get your wins and your losses.
Okay.
yeah. I
Okay.
think you gotta spend that dollar in order to make that dollar, even if it's later.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So,
So
All right.
I
all
think
right.
people like $2/3 starts. I think if you're bringing out like a bigger book, like a you know $20 plus book, you can definitely like start it a little higher. But I think if it's like a
Yeah.
ten to $15 book, I think maybe just do like a $3 or $5 start,
Okay.
because I think people want to feel like they got a good deal.
Yeah.
Um, and there's a lot of ways that you can manipulate that, and that's part
Yeah.
of like being a dealer. It's like
Sure.
making people feel like they got a good deal.
Yeah.
Because you kind of just have to you have to create that in a way. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
just like if yeah, if you have a book priced low and then somebody makes you a lower offer, like that feels bad. But if you have a book priced at FMV, um or you see like a couple sales on eBay were a little higher than FMV, and so you price it like alongside them, but you're willing to take under FMV for it, and somebody gets like a $15 discount, like then you're like, hey, I'm happy I sold the book. Somebody got
Hmm.
a great deal. Like I had to like create that situation. But if you're like, this book is priced right at last sale, like, and that's what you're expecting to get out of it,
Yeah.
it's gonna be tough.
Okay.
Especially like when the offers come in and you're like, man, this book sold 4 times in a row for $20. Like, why are you offering me, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
15 on it? Like 20 is a fair deal. So you kind of got to be savvy around all that stuff. But yeah, I think if
Okay.
you do so with the like lower dollar starts, whatever, do whatever you're comfortable at. Like, I think I have neglected to say that. Do whatever you're comfortable at.
yeah.
But there's definitely a sense of like when people start bidding, they want to feel like they won something. They want to feel like they got a deal.
Right,
Because I know that's how I feel as a buyer.
right.
Like, I
Yeah,
want to feel like I won something. I want to feel like I I got to the price that I wanted to, as opposed to the seller setting the price
right.
uh,
Okay.
that I wanted to be at. So, um, yeah, figuring that out, kind of however you want. I think, um, I guess you don't have to like take losses, but I think you will get a lot of people, a lot of like traction, if you can set people up for those situations where they're like, oh, I got a great deal on this book.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
but if there's books where you're like, I have to get this price,
Yep.
like, then get that price. Like,
Okay.
it is what
Okay.
it is. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you
So
recommend loud music and shouting at people?
I don't have loud music playing on my
Okay.
streams. I don't know how people get away with it. Like on
I don't know
Instagram,
either, but
if you play music on IG during a live sale, they'll come after you quick. So I don't know
yeah,
how Whatnot gets away with it, but yeah, obviously don't yell at people, but be an auctioneer, I guess.
Yeah.
I think too, like that'll drive like that does drive up sales. It's just being an auctioneer.
yeah,
And like, all right, Jab's in this at 4, comes on the last few seconds. You're like, man, we're gonna let Jabs get away with this again. He's really gonna get this for $4. And in that
mm,
moment, you're generating a little bit of FOMO.
okay, okay,
But
okay. That's great. That's good. I'm taking note of that.
yeah, but
Yeah.
that I mean that's part of the job, right? Is like
Yeah,
you're a salesman at the end of the day. Like
yeah.
that's what you're doing. And so
Okay,
you can create some of that competition. And I haven't gotten any like negative feedback from that. I think people do like the auctioneer side of it. I think it kind of
okay,
just adds to the whole vibe of everything. So
Awesome.
yeah,
So
cool.
you guys in the chat and viewers heard it first. We're having our first Whatnot sale on Saturday.
let's go.
Tune in. Some great books. We hope to see you there. Um,
What
so
are you guys
this,
bringing?
Oh man, putting us on the spot here. It's terrible. Let me see let me see if I've got some stuff here.
while you get some of that, let me ask Spro a question.
Sure.
This is like a job interview question where there's 4 different questions in one.
Okay.
About selling books.
Hmm.
Which is your favorite part of selling books? Your least favorite part about selling books? The hardest part about selling books? And the easiest part about selling books?
Okay. What was the first one?
Your favorite and least favorite.
Okay, my favorite part about selling books is okay. These are it's kind of like two in one. I love buying a collection and coming to an agreement on a price that they're very happy with. Obviously, I have to leave myself room to make profit on that, and I think when people come to sell to me, they know that. Um, but I do find a lot of joy in knowing that I'm paying more than all the competition around me. Um, l- and I know what it's like to bring books into a shop and get lowballed for it. Um, and that feeling sucks because you've spent so much time collecting and so much money collecting, and then you get offered 50 to 40% of what a book's worth. Like that stinks. Um, Sometimes even 30%, right? Like you just get really lowballed. And for some books, like that's definitely like, if a book's if like a DC book from the 90s is goes for like $5 on eBay, I'm like, I can't pay 50 or 40% of that. Like it's not much of a book. And that's sometimes what I'll tell people is like, hey, just like if you think you can get that much out of it, you should by all means go get that. Like, and I'll even help people like where like we can't come to an agreement. I'm like, hey, like, eBay, like here's where you can buy the boxes to pack your books. eBay will take 13% plus a little extra. Um, but yeah, so anyways, knowing that I'm paying somebody well and that they're getting a good deal and that I can feel that they're happy about the deal that we've come to, uh, I find a lot of like joy in that. I don't feel good, and I've never done this where I buy a collection and I can tell they're not happy, and that's where I'm usually like, "Hey, you should go try to get what you think this is worth." Um, and sometimes it's like we're just not on the same page. Sometimes they're just like way overpricing their books, and so I try, and I haven't so far, but I try to not buy books if the other person, if the person selling the collection isn't happy. So I'm always stoked when I make the person that I'm buying a collection from happy. On the other end, I love being able to cut somebody a deal. So like I have a dude who buys for me um in person and on sales, and he's just like the nicest guy in the world, and he rarely shoots an offer. And when he does shoot an offer, it's like the most respectful offer in the entire world. Um, and so obviously I want to treat a guy like that well, because he's good to me, so I want to be good to him. So recently I had a pretty significant key, and I wouldn't say he lowballed me, b- but it was almost there. And so I got way closer to his number than to where I was at, because I was like, you know what? Like he's claimed so many books at full price. Like I've more than like covered the difference, like in from the times that he's bought books for me. So I was like, I can't quite do your number because I need a little bit better margin on it. I was like, but I can do this. And instant sale, like he was happy, I was happy. So I like giving people deals where I can. I think I don't know, there's just something really fun about somebody buying a book. Most of the time it's like a key book that's been on their list for forever, that they've is nostalgic to them, for whatever reason, and they're adding it either back to their collection or to their collection for the first time. Um, so like one more quick story to add on to that. I found these. They're the Kenner. Is it Kenner or Kennel? The
The
DC.
figures, yeah,
Yeah, the
Kenner.
action figures.
Kenner. Yeah.
Yeah. So I found a Batman one and a Joker one, and I had them priced at last sale. I got them for a really good deal, and this guy sent me an offer, very reasonable offer. I accepted it immediately. Sent him the invoice after the show, and he was like, "Dude, thank you so much. Like, I had these when I was a kid. I had all of them. I don't remember exactly what happened. I don't remember if he said his dad had thrown him away, or like if they had just got lost, but he didn't have any anymore. And so these cases had no yellowing, so they were like really nice presenting. And he was just like, after 20, 30 years, whatever it's been, well, it's got to be more than 20. After 30, 40 years, he's like, this is the first time I'm adding him back. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad I can be a part of that.
That's
That's
pretty cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
So just grabbing from the top of the pile here, there's way more. I think we're like around 50 books. But wait, where'd it go? I've got this 𝗧𝗵𝗏 variant, Venom number 4.
Oh, sick. I've not seen that one before.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Nice.
You can buy
Good
it on
pick.
Saturday.
Yeah, you can buy it. Add it to your collection.
I've recently become a fan of 𝗧𝗵𝗏.
Nice. Yeah, he's got good stuff. I've got the Simpsons.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Comics and Stories number 1.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. Here's another Venom Lethal Protector number 3.
Oh, nice. Classic.
Classic. And then I'll just show these quick. These were from like the latest 𝗧𝗵𝗲 mystery box that I picked up. So these
Oh,
are all
cool.
signed by him.
Are those X-Men? Oh, nice. Okay, so we
Yeah.
got Batman, X-Men, and what's the other one? Oh, that's
Gambit and
cool.
Rogue. Yeah.
How much does that Gambit and Rogue one go for?
I think they typically go for like around 50. I was gonna put them up for 25. So
Nice.
yeah. So, but yeah, there's more in the stack. I think I've got like Doctor Strange #2 from like the 1970s. There's like the Monster of Frankenstein from the 70s too. So
yeah,
some good modern and vintage stuff.
Nice,
So,
sweet.
see how it
That'll be
goes.
fun.
But yeah,
what's the whatnot account called?
It should just be 𝗧𝗵𝗲 𝗖𝗵𝗲.
Let me pull it up right now. Jabs.
Yeah, _EP. Yep.
Nice.
There it is, everyone. Right there.
Yeah. Nice. The Captain America 241. That's a good one. Daredevil 141. I just sold that book. I kind of wish I didn't.
You can buy it back.
You can buy it again.
there's times where I sell a book and I'm like, I really
Yeah.
wish I wouldn't have sold it.
Yeah.
There was so I had, I don't know how, but like at the same time I had like 2 or 3 Daredevil 131s, first Bullseye, and so one of them I was going to keep in my collection, and one of them was going to sell, and so they were like back to back in a box, and I must have been in a rush. I grabbed one to bring to the office, and I priced it at the lower graded one, and I sold it. And then when I went to go invoice, I was like, "This is the higher grade," and it just sold at a VG plus price.
Oh no!
And I think it was like VF minus condition. And I didn't tell the person, and I never told him, like, I didn't cancel it, and I didn't tell him like, hey, this is, you know, you're getting a nicer book. Actually, I just shipped it off and sent it, and was really sad, and then sold the other copy because I was like, well, I didn't want this one, so I just ended up selling it. And then recently, one of my customers and listeners of the pod had reached out, and they were just like, hey, like I'm not collecting Marvel anymore. So I'm selling some of my Marvel keys. Like if you're interested to buy. So negotiated with them, and they had the first Elektra, Daredevil 168, and Daredevil 161 in a CGC 9.2 white pages. And I'm kind of a white page snob. So I got it, and it's at my house. And it's eventually got to come to the office, but I'm going to keep it for as long as I can.
Yeah.
Why not?
If it makes you happy, keep it, man.
Yeah, I love it, but it's a little nicer than I would probably prefer to have like a raw copy. But I don't know, who knows? A 9.2 white pager first Bullseye, like, I mean it gets better 9.4, 9.6, 9, 3 more times than that, but
yeah,
it really doesn't get much better than a 9.2 white pager. Like I think that's something that like sometimes we can like fall into the trap of the 9.2 or the 9.0 steps, 9.0, 9.2, 9.4, 9.6, 9.8. The differences are so minuscule.
So minuscule. So
yeah.
it gets ridiculous.
I've sent in a Young Avengers 1 that I was like, this is probably a 9.2.
Yeah.
I came back a 9.8, and I was like,
yeah,
I don't agree.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything. This is what CGC says.
Yep.
It is not my job to be like, hey, this is a CGC 9.8, but I actually think it's a 9.2. I'll show the book as best I can. So yeah.
And that's the thing too. It's like all of these that I'm selling. I've done the best I can to like grade them, and I've taken a really conservative approach. I'm like, this is probably better than like a 9.0 or like, you know, very fine near mint.
Yeah.
So I've done, I think, a decent job of like going under what I think it probably is, just so
Yeah.
again people feel like they're getting a good deal. Hopefully it
Yeah.
does come in better than that, but yeah, it does get tough once you get in that 9 territory. So
Yeah. I have a
yeah.
dude who buys on the IG sales, and whenever people ask, like, can I see the book, or like why is it a 7.5 and not an 8.0 or a 7.0? There's always this guy in chat who's like, Spro's grading is top notch. You can buy with confidence, and I always really really appreciate that comment.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can say that too because I bought not a ton, but enough from you.
Yeah.
And your grading, I would say it's very conservative. You know,
Thank you.
um, and that's what makes me come back. And we have a deal pending, but that's why I keep coming back because the grades and the prices that you give are super fair and conservative and on point to the point that if you call something near mint or close to near mint, that's I know that's what I'm going to be getting.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Dude, those Fantastic Fours that you get, those are all from that Bronze Age collection. So, oof, man. I can't think off the top of my head some of the Bronze Age that you got, but like this one, let me grab it. I feel like this one's probably on your list. This FF 120, if you don't already have it. I'm like so hesitant to sell this one. It's first, gosh, what's his name? The Airwalker. He's the Herald of Galactus after Silver Surfer. Um, and I have this as an 8.0, and it's just the black frame
Yeah,
label.
that looks gorgeous from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just, man, like this is, I don't like to hold out for spec as far as like selling goes. If it's in my PC, sure, I'll spec. But this is a book that's like, man, if this guy ever comes around, this is going to be one of the best copies out there. So until I get impatient, then it'll hit the market. But for a black Bronze Age 20-cent frame cover,
Yeah, it
like
looks pristine.
I've not ever seen. Let's see. Obviously, you got some of the reflection, but like these covers are usually
Oh wow.
beat. Like it's
Yeah.
really just like kind of down there, but like that spine is gorgeous in the corners. I mean, that's a pretty sharp corner right there as well.
That's sweet. Yeah.
So it's just I just couldn't believe it. Like I've seen this book in like VG condition go for prices where I'm like, man, and that's just because it's black cover, shows everything. It's tough book to get in high grade. So that one I'm being as patient as I can, but sooner or later I gotta let that one go.
I think I have 120. I think it's 121, 22, and 23 currently in the
Oh, okay.
120s that I'm missing. So it's okay if
I,
you hold out on me for a little bit longer on that one. I
I have
couldn't prove on
121.
mine.
121's a nice. That one has Silver Surfer fighting the Airwalker. I can't think of his name right now, but it's a cool
Okay.
cover.
Yep, some of those covers are fire.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything on your collection that you want to show off before we sign off?
No, I mean just kind of everything you see back here is just some last minute inventory that I just grabbed and threw on the wall. A lot of it hasn't even seen um like the Something is Killing the Children, like this. I only like processed this today just because um Brandon Mon Comics was curious about it. But I mean, it's a pretty nice copy. There's a spine tick there, spine tick there. Just four in a row, and that's kind of it. And they're not like big spine ticks either. Um, but this just came in, so um, I think Mon just wanted to toy with the idea, so I processed it for him, and Hold on, what I'm looking for it. So we'll see. But I think he wants to finish the rest of the run because it's relatively what he has left is like nothing crazy. So I don't know. We'll see. But this is another one I haven't brought this one out. This one will come out as soon as the trailer drops. I'm gonna bring this one out. I brought it out before, but it didn't really move. And sometimes for me, like it's not even like the book going up in price when like a trailer drops. Sometimes it's just the fact that people will actually buy it, because there are times, and I mean, Jabs can attest to this. I had the first Lobo last night, and it just sat on the wall the whole time, and I'm like, guys, the trailer is literally coming out this week. I I'm giving you guys this before the trailer so you can get it at a good deal, because when the trailer comes out and Lobo's in the trailer, uh, at that point it's out of my hands, because that's a book where like the velocity of the book will be really fast because it's a pretty common book. So
Yeah.
people will just go buy up the expensive ones that are on eBay that are currently listed in, like 130, 120, whatever, and shoot the price up. Ended up selling at the end. And I think that person is wise. If they, at least if they wanted the book, if they wanted the first appearance of Lopo, I think now is definitely the time. Because I think it's one of those books where the floor will come up a little bit. So I was kind of like one of those last minute, like, hey, here's this might be the last chance to get this
to get it
at the
before the
floor.
trailer.
It's come up and it's come down, but like once that trailer comes out and more trailers come out and the movie comes out, like Jason Momoa becomes immortalized as Lobo. And I think the immortalization of Jason Momoa as Lobo, I think that is what raises the floor. Um, just somebody that a face that people are familiar with, somebody who looks exactly like the character. So just seeing that role come to life, um, I think is something that'll bump. And I think you see that like across the board for like a lot of books, is people will speculate on something, or I mean, think of like first appearance of Iron Man, like TOS 39, essentially comparatively to today, worthless, like before the Iron Man movie.
Hmm.
Um, but because he was so good, RDJ at that role, like it raised the floor. Um, and so I do think that Jason Momoa will be one of those guys who's like, he's a good actor. He's been in these types of movies before, and he looks just like the character. I think it'll just be a. I'm not a big fan of the Superman movie or just kind of what Gunn's been doing so far, but I think Jason Momoa will probably be an exception to the rule for me. And I'm not a Lobo guy, and I'm not a Momoa guy either. I just think it just seems like a match made in heaven. So yeah, I brought this book out a long time ago, and nobody like took a bite, so I just kind of threw it in. It's probably been sitting, probably hasn't seen light in like 6 to 8 months. But yeah, as soon as the trailer comes out, I think that is just gonna help the velocity of the book. I don't think it'll necessarily increase the price of the book, but I think the book will start moving a little bit more than
Yeah,
before.
people are gonna look for it.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
Conan 23 or 24, First Red Sonja come around. I need to grab those one day. I haven't had one. My father-in-law sold those when he was getting his FF1.
I got the 24 from him. So
Oh, really? Yeah.
yep.
I've got a first Red Sonja around somewhere.
There you go. Yeah,
If you want me to put it up on whatnot for Saturday, let me know.
You got a Conan 23?
No. The first Red Sonja.
First Red Sonja ever is Conan 23.
Oh, my bad. No, I have like the first,
The first title or
yes,
solo
the first
title.
I totally misunderstood that. Sorry.
Yeah, my father-in-law had a 9.6 Conan 23. It was a
And
really nice book.
I passed on that one and got the 24, which is the first cover appearance.
Yeah.
So.
Wait,
All
was
right.
that the 9.6 that she had? Was
Was
it raw that you bought from him,
No,
or
I bought
was
a
it?
slab. I bought the slab.
Oh, it was 9.6.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Yeah, 24. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice book.
It was really nice, and I'm glad that I got to partake on fulfilling that grail for him. I was super stoked for him
Yeah.
once I saw the video, and him unveiling that book. It was great.
He didn't tell me at all during the negotiation um of like him talking to the seller. It was uh it was after church one day and we went to go get ramen and he just like slides me his phone and just shows me the book and I'm like, "What is this?" And he's like, "It's mine. It's on the way." And I was just like, "What?" Like, and then he just gave me the whole story and it totally by surprise. And then a couple weeks ago, I don't know if you saw the episode Jabs. He just completely surprised me with an FF5.
With the 5, yeah, I know.
I
Now
had
I'm super jealous of the guy.
had no clue. He's just like we do a show and tell every week on the show. We just bring out a book and we're like, we talk about it and what it means to us, blah blah blah, whatever. And sometimes it's a nice key, sometimes it's like a random like run filler that just has some sort of meaning. And so we started the show and tell part of the show, and he was like, "I'm gonna need you to like close your eyes for this one." I was like, "All right." So I closed my eyes and I turned around and I'm like, I'm not thinking much of anything. I'm not thinking he's got an FF5 there. And so he shows the camera first, and then he tells me to turn around. So I turn around and I was like, you could have given me probably 50 guesses and I don't think I would have said FF5. Like just a complete
No,
total shock.
I
Um
could tell something was up because he had his gala uniform on. He had the FF shirt and the jacket.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I knew something was up because I could just see that coy smile in his face.
Yeah.
But I was super
Yeah.
stoked for him too. So
I didn't pick up on it on the fit, but yeah, he had the full FF from head to toe.
yeah, he had the full regalia on.
Yeah. Can I ask you each a question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Jay, what's up with the luchador mask? What's the lore behind that?
The lore is it's just a persona, for I'm an introvert when it comes to just personality.
Yeah.
I have a really hard time just broaching subjects with people.
Hmm.
So I think putting on the mask is part of what helps me, have a conversation with somebody that I just met.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that's the lore behind it. I think once I get more comfortable, which I'm obviously getting into. If you watch our first episodes too, now I think I'm getting there. There'll be an unmasking, but that's where that comes from. I have a really hard time just talking to people.
Sure.
So I think just putting the mask on, and it's like the superheroes we have, they transform. There's somebody else. That's not to say that my personality is very different, but having this on just helps me talk to people and be friendly and having a great time.
Yeah.
Whereas it's something that I would not have been able to do, when I was in high school or in college. I was the shut-in guy, the introvert that I would talk to people that would talk to me, but I would never go out and talk to them. Like I would have never reached to somebody like I did with you and our previous guests, like, "Hey, you want to be on our podcast?"
Yeah.
That would have never happened. So I think it's part of that persona.
You'll
Have you
get to
done a
see his
face?
face. You'll get to see his face backstage. That's the reward for being on our show.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, like, have you ever done a face reveal, like a public face reveal, or
Usually, yeah, backstage, and 'cause it's part of the warm up. So
yeah,
but
but
yeah,
never like to the like general public, like
no, not the general
IG or
public. No,
okay. There you go. And what's the grade of that 251 and the Daredevil 16 behind you for Jay? Yeah,
the Daredevil 16, which you can see, it's a 3.5.
nice.
And which other one?
The Batman 251.
The 251 is a 5.5.
Oh, nice. That's a good grade.
It's
Nice.
a
How are
very
those
good
all
grade.
staying on the wall? Because I don't see. Do you have
Two, three,
shelves?
Two 3M strips on the back.
Oh wow. And they hold
They
well?
hold, and they leave no residue.
Really?
Yep. Yeah,
Huh.
because I've changed this wall multiple times. And
Wow. No.
these two, we have a show where we did an unveiling because I have a friend of ours, friend of the podcast, is a very good cleaner and presser, Jeff at 𝗵𝗲
Huh?
𝗂. And the Daredevil 16, I got it as a 1.8, 2.0, and he did his magic, came back as a 3.5. And that's what I
That's
paid for.
insane.
I paid the price of a 1.8, 2.0. And the 251 I actually got as a 3. So
In a
coming
slab?
back as a, and out of the slab, they were raw when I got them.
Oh, okay, okay.
So he did his thing and came back as a 5.5. And then the 50, actually, I paid for a 3.0 on the raw too, and it came back a 7.0.
Who
This
are you
guy
buying
has
from?
this guy has magic hands. No, I buy from reputable sellers, like, but I don't know if they undergrade or what they do. Because even when I got the 50 I knew that I'm like, that's no way that's a 3 or a 4. That's higher. I was thinking it was 5, but then Jeff did his thing, cleaned it, pressed it, um, just worked his magic, and it came back at 7.0. So
Wow.
super
I
stoked.
mean, that's insane because like I'm like very hesitant to get into the like below a 4.0 is like very specific types of defects.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, not that I'm hesitant to like grade that low, but really the difference between like a 3.0, a 3.5, and a 4.0 is like pretty significant. So, I mean, you're talking tape, very noticeable spine splits, staining, like you're talking like very big defects. And
Mhm.
so it like, man, that's crazy. 3.0
Yeah,
to a 7.0, that's
Yeah,
impressive.
he's
this
incredible. I've got him working on a
this
few books of mine too right now. I'm
this
excited.
55 was beat to crap. Like, I could tell why it was a 2. The spine, it has huge spine roll. It's got major ticks. The corners were all bent. Um,
Man,
and he just did a great job.
wow, congrats.
He'll post whatever he works on for you. He'll send you high
Uh-huh.
resolution pics and say, this is what we're working on. Do you want me to move forward or not? Then once he's finished, he'll take before and after pictures to send you. He'll send them to you, and then the after pictures he'll post them on the CGC forums in the Ask a Grade, and people will tell you, and a lot of them agree with the grades that we see here and the grade that he thinks that he can get. So
Wow.
guy's a pro.
I mean,
Jeff at 𝗵𝗲 𝗂.
is that a what was his name?
Jeff
Jeff
from
at
Comic
𝗵𝗲
Spa.
𝗂.
Yeah.
He's an
Huh.
IG 𝗵𝗲 𝗂. I'll DM you his info.
Yeah, I mean, I do all my own pressing, but I mean, I've gotten like what's the best bump I've gotten? I think I've gotten a 9.0 to a 9.8. I think that's it. I've never gotten anything like I would say like a 3.0 to a 7.0 is like a pretty that's more impressive than a 9.0 to a 9.8 for sure. Um, and is that a 7.0 white pager too?
The 50 is a white pager. Yes.
Mm. That's a good book, man. 7.0 white pages, that's no joke.
I was so pumped because we did the unveiling of these live.
Hmm.
And I think, Bex can probably attest to it. You could see the smile through the mask. I was so stoked because a lot of people don't like this cover because it's brown, but I think this is one of the best Silver Surfer covers because he's just front center,
Yeah,
and you got the floating heads, the classic Kirby floating heads, and Johnny going off to college. It's one of my
yeah,
favorite Silver Surfer covers, like,
yeah.
and I would rather have this than have FF48, which I'm still hunting for. But that I think that's just a very simplistic cover, and it's not even all that great. I think the Watcher looks funny in there in that cover.
I agree. I think FF48 is overrated. I think
So
FF49 should be worth what FF48 is worth.
yeah, I think so. I agree. And 49 is way back here.
I mean, that's a cover of all covers, man. FF49 is like
Yeah,
it's
Galactus. Come on.
And it's one of the best Silver Age covers of all time. Like I think the Bronze Age is really underrated. I think I think the art just becomes it becomes a lot more complex in the Bronze Age. Um, so I think it's very underrated. But I mean, Kirby, I mean, that dude was channeling divine energy when he did
Oh,
FF49, in my opinion.
yeah,
It's like I don't know if
yeah.
you've ever heard of like I'm a Bob Dylan fan, and so Bob Dylan was asked in an interview. I don't know how are you guys familiar with his work at all?
Only
Bob
by
Dylan,
proxy,
yeah,
because yeah, he's from Minnesota.
he's
So
from
Oh yeah,
Minnesota.
that's
Yeah,
right. Yeah, so just the stuff that he was doing in the '60s, like those first few albums, and a lot of the protest music was just like out of this world good, and the songwriting was just unmatched. And I think even today, just like I don't think anybody's like really done anything nearly as good as that. And he was asked one time, I think it was in the '90s, he was asked like where did it come from? Like how did you do it? And he was just like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know. I don't think it was me. He's like, it was. He's like, I think it was just something divine that was writing that stuff. And he's like, I think if you put me in this situation again, he's like, I don't think I could do it again.
yeah,
And it's just I think similarly, maybe not quite as much because Bob Dylan is a unique and special talent, but Jack Kirby FF49 is about as close as it gets
yeah,
to that, I
yeah.
think.
There's a reason why they picked that to be the the label for the FF. Like
Yeah.
so.
I've never owned an FF50. I've had 48 and 49 come across. I have a 49 in my PC. I've never had a 50. I don't know why.
Great book to have. I'd say
Yeah.
that I'd sell it to you, but this one's not leaving the PC anytime
No,
soon.
yeah, you shouldn't. You shouldn't sell it to me. You should keep that unless you can get double fair market value, you shouldn't sell it.
Yeah. I don't think
I,
even if right now, today, even if I were to get triple for market value, I don't think I would sell it. Ask me again in 5 years, I might have a different answer, but right
yeah.
now, mm-mm.
Yeah, I have a book. I have a Batman 227 7.0 white pager. Just iconic Neil Adams. Another like one of those again. Like I would put that up there with FF49.
Mhm.
Just so good. And you just never see that book in a white page
No,
copy. And even like to get that book in an off white to white page is it's a good get. And so when I saw it, somebody had it like at FMV in a white page copy, and I think white page copy for that book for the Bronze Age DC. I don't know if it's the quality of paper that they were using, but you don't get like white pages a lot with Bronze Age DC. Um, so I have no problem with people adding like you know, a little bit of a interest buff on top of this Bronze Age, especially a 227 white pager. But this
right.
person had it right at last sale, and I just claimed it outright. And yeah, I don't know what the price would be to get it out of my collection, but it's up there for sure.
Yeah.
There's a price for everything on it, but I don't know
We
what it
all have a
is.
price, yeah. But right now, I don't know what it is, and right now, I don't want to find out. I don't need to. So,
Yeah, yeah, I hear you on that. Okay, Bax. What is that? Is your name Baxter or like what's the?
yeah. That's
Okay,
yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was something else or yeah. Um, but if you don't want to get personal, that's fine. What is it that you do for work?
I work in cybersecurity.
Okay, so also IT.
Yes, yeah.
yes,
It's
we
under
both
that
do.
umbrella, right?
Yeah.
We'll be talking about we'll be talking about that a little bit more in an upcoming episode. That's already been pre-recorded for the holiday season.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, I've been in this space for about 8 to 9 years.
Okay.
So yeah, quite some
You've
time
been grinding away. Yeah.
grinding away.
Are you
And
married? Kids?
yeah,
Single?
yep, married,
Whole thing?
kids. Yeah, whole
Yeah.
thing.
So what is it that you want to pivot to? What is it that you want to do?
Right now I'm exploring a career in day trading, to be
Oh,
honest
okay.
with you. Yeah.
Yeah. That stuff's
So,
I have a friend. He's just like funny enough, he's the friend that I said is just like really good at the corporate. Like he enjoys
yeah.
it, he loves it. And he just does like he used to, he stopped, but he was doing like day trading, penny stocks, like he was just going crazy. And I was just
Yeah.
like, how do you? And then this dude also like reads books like faster than anybody I know. And I'm just like, how are you reading? And not like this dude's reading like Brandon Sanderson type books. You know, they're big. Sometimes they're easy reads, sometimes they're not. Like the lore and just the world building that Sanderson does is crazy. So I'm just like, how are you? How do you have a full time corporate job? You're day trading penny stocks and all that stuff. You're reading and you're walking like 20,000 steps a day. Like, how are you doing all of this? And he's just like, I'm like, all right, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, I definitely don't I don't play video games or anything like that.
Yeah,
Right now, like my comic book reading is at an absolute minimum. Like I'm basically just like a cover artist fan at this point.
yeah,
I would love to have more time to actually like be able to get in and read storylines again. But
sure.
yeah, again, like I'm dedicating a lot of time to pivoting my career. So
Yeah,
but yeah, like the penny stock stuff, that's super risky. I'm looking at more like small cap, just
okay.
volatility trading. So
Yeah,
trying to see if I can just figure that out.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you have like a timeline in your mind where you hope to fully transition over?
I'm hoping like 1 to 2 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. That's
So
exciting.
yeah. Yeah.
What was it just like? Do you feel like you're not meant for cybersecurity? Do you feel like you're meant for more than that? Or like, where did that?
I don't think I'm meant for corporate America. I
Sure.
just, it's not cybersecurity is a great career.
Yeah,
Um,
I got some friends that, I mean, that work in it and they make really good money.
yeah, the money can be great, you
Yeah,
know. I feel sometimes like my work is meaningless, to be completely transparent with you, just because of like how corporate America functions. Like
sure.
they don't prioritize it, right?
Yeah.
Um, so it's just like you'll call out stuff like, yeah, this is really risky. You shouldn't do that. And like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that, that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
that's
Like,
exactly what
Yeah,
we're gonna do.
yeah.
yeah. So like I've been in those scenarios more than once, but yeah, like I don't know. I feel like I grew up thinking that, like, okay, yeah, corporate America is going to be the answer to life. And my parents never, they never went to college. So it's like I'm first generation college graduate. And so I was like, yeah, okay, like I've been told this is the American dream and get a
Yeah.
good, corporate job. And over the past decade, it's clear to me that's not the answer for me. I'm not built for it. I have more of that entrepreneurial spirit that you were
Yeah.
talking about earlier that I really resonate with. So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. I totally understand. I'm a college dropout. I dropped out because I went to JUCO and I had math and science left
yeah,
before I got my AA, and I was like, I'm good. I don't want to do that. I was like, I did math in high school. I don't need to keep doing math. So I dropped out and then I got the job in IT, and that was great. That's the only reason I dropped out. Um, but yeah, it's interesting because I don't think a lot of my friends, one of my friends does, but I think the others are like pretty content in the entrepreneur life. And I think sometimes there's just like a gap in like understanding between us sometimes.
hmm
I think I think now they do their best to like sympathize and understand where I'm coming from. But I think at first they just didn't totally understand. It's like, why would you quit your job, uproot your life, and move an hour away, like from where you live and where your parents live? And sometimes there's just no really rhyme or reason to it. It's just like this is just the decision that I know is best for my life. So
hmm
yeah, I
yeah,
get you. I hope you find it and then you find success in it, man.
yeah. No, I appreciate it. And you know what? If I can't figure out day trading, I've got other options too. Like there's
Yeah,
franchises and stuff I've looked into, and like, yeah, okay, maybe I could just run my own business. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. But
Yeah.
yeah, I gotta say goodbye to the corporate life eventually here.
Yeah. Keep chasing after it. I
Yep.
tried I tried with the streaming and YouTube stuff, and I was successful for a little bit, but I didn't have the grind mentality to keep up with it. And then I eventually fell flat on my face with that. And I would definitely say I failed. Um, I mean, I've got, I had a, I don't know that anybody will ever find it, but um, I had a video that's like almost got 1 million views on YouTube from gaming and stuff. So there was like minor successes, but I couldn't, I couldn't unlock the key and figure out how to make that not like how to make that consistent.
Yeah.
Um, and so that is where it like ended up getting victory over me is like I let the analytics defeat me. And that's not what you're supposed to do
Yeah.
in the content space. It's like you can't even look at the analytics. Like
Yeah.
you just gotta let it be. And
There's
you just
been
gotta
times
make
too. Yeah.
yeah, so you just gotta like the high of hitting a video with like hundreds of thousands of views was incredible. So I'm like, okay, the next one should do exactly the same. And it didn't. And I'm like, why didn't it why isn't it doing the same? Like, why aren't those
Yeah.
exact same people coming back?
Yeah.
Um, and so I think I just responded poorly to that and I didn't know how to like recover. And so
Okay.
that's ultimately why I think I failed. So and that was
Yeah.
like the first jump that I had took into entrepreneurship. So yeah, I mean, if you fail on the first one or the second one, don't feel bad, man. You just
Yeah. You just keep
got to
going.
keep, yeah,
Yeah.
you'll find it eventually. And like I said
Yeah.
earlier, like it'll make sense. It will be abundantly clear. There'll be no doubt.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
there'll be
It's
no
like finding your
hesitation.
partner in life, you know? It's just like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
this is my person, you know?
yeah,
And it's like,
totally.
you know, so
Yeah,
yeah. Well, cool. Um, all right. Well, Spro, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you and hearing about your story. And
yeah. Thank
we
you.
really appreciate you being on the show. Um,
Yeah, man.
hope to
Thank
have
you.
you
It's
back again.
Yeah,
been great. We definitely look forward to what the future brings, future selves. Like Back said, we'd love to have you again in the future.
yeah,
Maybe
for sure.
even maybe even get Mr. Longbox to join you.
Yeah, he'd love that.
Awesome. Well, yeah, like we said, this is our last live stream of the year. So thanks for sticking around, hanging out with us, and we will see you live again in the new year, 2026. So we hope you all have a wonderful time with your friends and family during the holiday season. And yeah, until then, keep flipping those pages.
We'll see you
Yeah.
on the next issue.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was a lot of fun.
It was. Take care, everyone.